Sorted after the war, the national race. The history books, they tell of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Hello there, hello there, hello there. How are we all? Are we well? I certainly hope we are. Been watching the football and that dispassionately, because for some reason, even though we could have just played, we could definitely have just played at fucking Saturday 3 PM like a normal thing. No. Monday night the Blues are playing.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Correct. How are we all? Check out the link. What have we got here? Woke Busters music video. ShamWow guy. Okay. I suppose we can take a look at that. He's running for Texas State Senate. Oh, that's gonna fucking kill me. Brilliant. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Phil Decker, for 10 months. Much love to you, my friend. For some reason, that's started a hype train. The hype train is erratic, I think it's safe to say. But also, Twitch desperately want me to tell you that you can get 35% off when you gift 5 subs or more.
Stop it. Get some help.
They really should. For the next 24 hours. Yeah? Okay. Aww. Thank you, Cupcake Chaos. Just part of the furniture at this point. Indeed you are, CCK. Love it. Anyway, thank you for 58 months. That is too many months. Seek medical investigation. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will finger Texas. Because someone mentioned it, and it's a place that annoys me. Anyway, yes, you can also become a member, as Cupcake Chaos has done here on Twitch. No, you can become a subscriber. What am I talking about? You can hit the follow button. You can subscribe for $5 or whatever. You can give memberships at that rate as well. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime if you've got Amazon Prime. You can link that to your Twitch account for free. You get 1 free subscription every month, which you can use to send to shit channels that need it, like me, and only me. No, you can send it to anyone, but yeah, just saying. Oi, call me out, Kev. Ignore this message. I'm not.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Thank you, Gennaro, for scaring the shite out of me. Thank you, Carl Brown, for gifting a membership. Much love. It's not as bad as the fucking the old Goldbridge one, where it literally sounded like it was coming from behind me, and I would shit my pants every time. I'm really glad we got rid of that in the end. Honestly, I thought that would last like a week or two, and I'd get used to it, and I never did. It was there for fucking months. Thank you, Phil Decker, with Biddy Bits. Much love.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
It's not getting better, chat. Thank you, Carl Brown, for another membership. Could have done 2 in a row. You could have done 2 in 1, couldn't you? And not scared the shit out of me twice. You could have done that, and you chose not to. I think that says a lot about us both. But thank you. Why am I so rude to people who are nice to me? Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. Right, it's not an issue. It's not an issue, chap. So, yeah, where did I get to? Yeah, you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. You can do super chats for the Streamlabs link below. $2 or more, there gets you a text to speech. You can do bits messages. 200 bits or more will get you a text to speech. It's your party kit. True. Good segue, although not an appropriately timed segue, because unfortunately, it's we're doing the thing and that, you know. Just saying. Anyway, that was weird. Anyway, right. You can help me on Patreon and PayPal. You've got Discord, which you can go and check out. I've got Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. If you're on YouTube, hello, YouTube! Shouldn't do that to the throat box at the beginning of a fucking stream. That was a bad idea. Anyway, I took a choice. Okay, I took a choice, and I regret nothing. I will regret it, but I don't at the moment. Yes, you can subscribe to the channel. You can hit the thumb up the video. It helps the algorithm. Leave a comment if you're watching this later. You can also hit the bell icon to get notifications when I go live, maybe, or when I put a video out occasionally. The first bit, I might put a video under your party bit tomorrow, but I don't know. This is smooth. I think we can all agree.
Get some help.
Yes. Hang on, didn't you just subscribe? What? Hang on. Well, I'll get to it in a second, right? Get through the fucking thinker. Good Lord! It's dragging on. Right. I'm dragging these nuts. Christy absolutely fucked me up with that the other day. I did not see it coming. Because Christy's not the kind of person who does that. And that's when it works best. When the other person is definitely not expecting it. Which means I'm going to have to burn her flat down. I'm joking. Yes, so you can do... What else can you do? You can become a member for 99 pence. You can gift memberships at that rate. And you can become a member. No, hang on. Yeah, you can do super chats on Twitter. Not on Twitter, you absolute fucking...
Wank!
You can do super chats on YouTube or super stickers, which is a thing that no one ever does, but apparently is a thing. Thank you, Davey B88, who is either a man who is 36 years old or a Nazi. I'll let you decide. Actually, no, I won't. They can just tell us they were born in 1988. It's fine. Who everyone should go and follow, by the way. And also, but then it says they continued their Prime/gift and then said resubscribed with Prime afterwards. So I don't understand. Does that count as two things? Because it did on the hype train, and I'm very, very confused by the entire affair. I give up. But anyway, we are still on a hype train if you want to make that go choo-choo with bits and subs and right. What is this bollocks that someone sent me? Woke Busters. Some American cringe before we get into the serious business. Oh, well, this is getting copyrighted to fuck, obviously. This is shit. This is proper shit.
You just assaulted me.
I'm just gonna let that linger. That particular sentence and that particular penis linger. Just for a second. Just bathe in this event with me, chat.
Who are you gonna call? Whoa, Busters! I ain't afraid of no book.
I think this might actually give me brain cancer. I genuinely think this might give me brain cancer.
I ain't afraid of no
Wowzer. Okay.
When the melanin in your skin is way too thin, who can you call? Busters. When your strength is on, need an overhaul. Ow, who you gonna call? Busters.
Was that Kanye West? Or supposed to be Kanye West, at least?
Overhaul. Ow, who you gonna
That kind of does actually look like Kanye West, though, to be fair.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Well, no, Kanye West used to be good, and now
Somehow
he's
worse
shit.
than James O'Keefe's oligarchy vid.
Way worse. At least Oligarchy was kind of funky. Don't make me play Oligarchy again. I don't want to. Oh! Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Hang on, what? So this is Kanye West isn't anti-Semitic, I think. What do I even say?
Very, 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 very cringe. Very, very, very cringe.
I am deeply disgusted by you and I hope you explode. In fact,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It stimulates the part of the brain called Shatner's bassoon.
That's a challenging wank. Yeah, okay.
Who can you call? Busters. If them or they are gonna play. Ow, who you gonna call? Busters.
What the fuck is this bit? I don't remember the random Jesus freak out in the desert bit of the song. Okay.
Who you gonna call? Busters. When you're growing up a man, but they got a different plan.
God, why doesn't that book exist? Honestly, I would read a few good them. That sounds amazing. Yes. Let's fucking go.
Epic dub.
Who can you call? Busters. When you realize you're a schmuck, you're a sailing duck.
Oh, you can't scan that. No. I'm not having that bollocks. At least the other lines kind of worked. You're a sitting duck. No. It's not as bad as Overlaugh Haas, but it's, yeah, that's bad. Come on now.
Next up, we're snipping talk. Busters.
Oh, he just got some of his weird jizz on the kid as well. You say you're not afraid of no woke, but you do appear to be quite afraid of woke, actually. You did make an entire parody video about how bad it is.
Let me tell you something.
The future leftists want. Let's go.
CRT just ain't.
Hang on, what the fuck? Is who's still talking about fucking critical race theory? Didn't they move on from this 6 months ago? How long did this shit video take to produce that you're still talking about Me Too and CRT? Yeah, this is just like muscle daddy play. What? I'm playing it again. This has killed me. I had hope for the universe, and this has destroyed it all. This is an excuse for crotch shots, 100%. This is an excuse for like some weird kink stuff to be out there, you know? Yeah, and also, yeah, who's eating a banana on the shitter? Like, to be fair, you eat the banana several hours before in order to aid the process, really. Good roughage. But you don't... Who's eating on the toilet? That's the most offensive thing here, really. This is not a cleanly environment for the intake of foodstuffs. Hmm? How many like every transphobe, every one of these fuckers, every single one of them just wants to be able to dress up like a lady. Now, whether that's because they're actually trans or they've just got like a drag thing, a latent drag thing that they haven't accepted yet. How many times did Stephen Crowder dress up as a woman? Like, just own it. Come up with a fucking a drag name and go to nightclubs and perform as Stevena or something, or whatever the fuck you are. I don't know, Crowder. Usually they come up with something better, but he's a straight, so he'll probably come up with something boring like that. Yeah, and just become a drag artist. Just do drag. You clearly like dressing up as a lady. That's fine. Oh yeah, sorry, straight. Yeah, you get the idea. He's a breeder, unfortunately, or at least his wife was. You know, she's not his wife anymore. Again, lots of divorce going on there from the pro-family people. Just, yeah, if you enjoy wearing makeup and putting on a wig and a dress, but you don't want to, like, transition or anything, then what in the fuck? Don't start adding characters. Taking the piss out of me is fine. Don't take the piss. Okay, I'm actually going to put a stop to that. You can't put no justice in the Mr. Streamy bits, okay? You can't. I'm not allowing it. Lin Sal. That's a brilliant name for him. Lin Sal. Because it's like incel, but Lin. So Lin Sal. That's a badass name. That would be a great drag name for Stephen Crowder. I don't know what this guy's called, the ShamWow guy. I don't know what you can do with that. I'm not great at coming up with drag names. What the fuck? Hang on, is this a butt sex bit? Oh my, look at his tit. Oh no, that is a very odd shape for a tit, mate. You have triangular breasts, sir. Also, is this an arse sex joke now?
Gay is in, Gay is hot. I want some gay. Gay it's gonna be.
Okay, so you're into it then. You went home with someone and you had sex with the person. Let's hope you didn't get pregnant. Oh no, people of different shapes in photo shoots. That's terrible. Also, they're black and therefore great replacement, I guess? Black Friday shopping spree. Yes, criminality only exists with black people. Clearly. This is so homoerotic, it's ridiculous. How many times have they used this fucking jizz on people bit? How many people have they jizzed on? Again, if you're into, like, fluid play, if you want to be the cum sponge, by all means, go for it. But this is a weird way of going about it. Oh, that was the fucking, what's it called? That's, what's her face? I forget her name. Didn't she stand in, like, Texas or somewhere, and she's like a real mental, like so mental she thinks MAGA is woke person. What's her name? Someone in chat will know. Yeah, the flamethrower person. Yeah, that's her, yeah. And she's got like the most Valentina Gomez, there we go. Yeah, she's got like the most Hispanic accent.
Stop it.
For a white supremacist you've ever heard. Amazing shit. Hello there, Boy Meets Minnie. Everyone should go and follow Boy Meets Minnie. The only fluid play I'm into is spraying spicy curry into English invaders' faces in Power Wash Simulator, of course. That was an extremely violent piece of imagery, and I'm here for it in Power Wash Simulator, of course. Is that him? Hang on, so that's just him jizzing on himself. Okay, right. So this is him dressing up as a woman, fucking a man in the butthole, then like doing this bit afterwards where he jizzes on himself. This is just kink. This is just kink. This is butt sex, drag queen, self-jizz kink. I don't know what that's called. You need to come up with a pithier title for that. Auto bukkake, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, there's it's a weird amalgamation of things. Yeah. Aunt Jeremiah, Uncle Ken. What the fuck? Oh, see, we're not racist because it's bad when it happens to black people as well, or something. If you own that many wigs and dresses, you are a drag queen.
Stop it. Get some help.
De facto, you are a drag queen at that point. I'm sorry, that there comes a threshold at which it's not just like theatre anymore. It's not. It's clearly not that. It's not just like you're doing it for the YouTube video. You own enough dresses that you qualify as a drag queen now by default. Disagree. Drag queens have talent. Well, this is the thing. Drag is an accessible thing, right? There isn't like, well, I mean, there might be a drag queen association. I don't know, but there isn't like an official stamp of like, poof, you are a drag queen. There isn't a card you have to like apply for to become a drag queen. So like most actual drag queens are very talented and put a lot of work into it, and some of them are just like weird freaks like this. And the thing is, I suppose the difference is accepting it. Once you accept that you are a drag queen, you put effort and work into it, and you can become a beautiful thing. Whereas this is someone who's pretending they're not into it, but secretly loving every second of it. Do you prefer this or fiscal fandangoism? Why isn't Roblox an option there? I feel like Roblox needs to be an option. A third option there. A secret third thing. Thank you to... What happened? Something happened. Thank you, Lace Argar, for gifting... for resubscribing. 65 months. Are you the longest serving... The longest serving inmate of this particular asylum? I don't know. But thank you, Lace Argar, also for gifting 5 memberships. Seriously, I will do disgusting things in your honour. I will do auto bukkake. Oh, God, don't promise things, Kev. Honestly, I'd have to do it upside down. I don't think I've got the force in me to fucking jizz upwards that far anymore. I'd have to wank like a bat, hanging upside down, and let gravity do the work for me. Kev, you are a drag queen. Unfortunately, I'm not. The only thing I cosplay as is occasionally a crab. I'm a crab queen. Oh God, why have I just come up with that as a phrase? It is pretty good though. Come up with crab themed drag names for me. I'm your head mod, you prick. Of course I'm longer serving. I'm like mod XX. Well, okay, but I don't know who was here first. I barely remember me being here at any point. Crabetha?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Oh, so like Abatha, Crabatha. Crabatha Christie, but Christie spelt like Christie Winters. Boom.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Thank you, Andrew Luke. I'm just going to let the 5 of them play out. Thank you, Andrew Luke, for 5 memberships on the YouTube as well. I will suck you all off. You can use me as your cum sponge.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
How are we still not through this? How long have we been going? Oh, we've been going half an hour on this fucking video.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't wait till the last 15 seconds to throw that absolute fucking gem in there. No.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes
no,
may
that's
be shit.
always good. That was fucking amazing. You can't do an ultrasound bit right at the end. That needed to be up front. That needed to be... You need to see this in all its glory. You know what? I'm taking my fucking camera away for a second. You need to see this. You need to see this. Oh, I'm gonna fucking explode. I'm actually gonna burst. My stomach hurts. Fuck off, man. That's ridiculous. The feet just broke the 4th wall. Oh, okay, breathe, Kev, for fuck's sake. You need to take in oxygen, man. Oh, that's the wrong fucking one, you prick. There you go. Fuck me. I'm actually tearing up. Jesus Christ. Oh. Okay, come on there. We've only got 14 seconds left. What else are you going to throw in there? I'd literally rather lose my fucking legs to diabetes, you cunt. Fuck off. I'm just again, just leave it on the screen there for a second. Is this like the Dam Busters, Kev? What, in that he's got a dog called the N-word? Probably. Okay. Jesus Christ. How do I segue from this to talking about your party? There really isn't any way. And I need to get myself in a totally different headspace now. Genuinely, thank you. Who posted this? Whoever it was, thank you enormously. That was fucking incredible. That was genuinely fucking...
Would you like those who have been expelled to be reinstated?
Absolutely. They shouldn't have been expelled in the first place. These are groups that don't even run it.
Jesus Christ. Why wouldn't that pause? Honestly, Elon has fucked this website so badly. Absolutely insane shit. How do I shrink that down so it's on the screen properly? It literally won't do it. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Jez. Killing it, bro. Can that actually fit on my screen at all? Is there any way I can make that work? I mean, that is shonky, but that'll do. Fuck it. Okay. Right. No, you turn off, you cunt. Right. This bit might be going on YouTube, so I'm trying to get myself out of the headspace of thinking about the man in a dress showing us his penis. Which, if you just walked into this particular stream, I'm not channeling Adnan Hussein. There was a thing we just watched. It was bad. So last time we checked in with your party, Jeremy Corbyn's, I think, social experiment to try and fail ultimately in organising a piss-up in a brewery. With a government flailing, an opposition flailing even harder, it would appear. An open door to push at. He has managed to create an OmniShamblesClusterFudge of a thing. Anyway, last time we checked in with them, it was going very, very poorly. Do you think it got better since, chat? Well, 2 of its MPs left. Literally 2 of its fucking MPs left. Adnan Hussein, people may remember, was the transphobic landlord that Jeremy Corbyn sold his soul in order to hug publicly and accept into the party against the will of basically all of its members, or at least a lot of its members. Anyway, he resigned. As indeed did this chap, Iqbal Mohammed. So that's 2 of its, I think, 7 MPs or 6 MPs have resigned. So that's not great. That doesn't scream brilliant at me. You know, like I desperately wanted this party to become something, and honestly, I think they need to pack it in. I don't know why I just kicked the camera there as well. I think they need to pack it in at this point. They just what good can this now do? I don't really know. But they're going to charge on ahead and say, you know what? The real power is not in Parliament. It's in the party. It's in the streets. So they're going to go ahead with their national conference, the first day of which happened today, as we record. It didn't go superbly well either. In fact, we have to go back a day to the night prior to this to find that there were various people who'd been kicked out of a party that doesn't even have a fucking name yet. So this person was not alone in the slightest in literally being trot hunted. You remember when the Labour Party used to do trot hunting, i.e. kicking leftists out of the party? Your party are literally doing that, literally, to Trotskyists. For those who don't know, I should explain. The SWP stands for the Socialist Workers' Party. Now, they are technically a political party, but they don't stand in elections. So being a member of that shouldn't really preclude you from joining your party or any other party, really, in a kind of rules-based way. But either way, that's what that organisation is. And I think I speak for everyone on the left who isn't a part of the SWP when I say they're wankers. Now, that doesn't mean they're necessarily evil or anything, but they are annoying, sussy wankers. But even so, this person writes, "Today, myself and others received an email expelling us from your party hours before the conference in Liverpool." They're literally doing trot hunting. They're literally doing it. It's literally happening. Corbyn and his people are literally hunting trots from their organisation. You couldn't fucking make it up. This decision has been made by an unelected clique with no democratic mandate. I have been expelled because I'm a member of the Socialist Workers' Party. It is my view that the overwhelming feeling of your party members, as was made clear at the local assemblies, is that all socialists are welcome in your party, and that it can be a force that unites the left. To be fair, it has mostly united the left in thinking that this is a fucking joke organisation. So it's done that, I suppose. We face the threat of the far-right Nigel Farage entering Downing Street, with Keir Starmer's miserable government paving the way for him. At least that bit's true. Instead of building the insurgent left party, we need to stop Farage, fight Starmer and stand with Palestine. Those running your party have turned their focus on socialists who have been fighting to build your party on the ground. I have worked with Jeremy and Zara to try and make your party a success. This decision should be reversed at the conference, and we should get on with the job of uniting to build the new left party we so desperately need. Yeah. Like I say, they're literally doing trot hunting, which is, it's very funny in a sense. Like, it's also tragically unfunny, but it's also quite funny in the sense that they're literally doing the thing that everyone hated the Labour Party doing, but literally.
The only reason that I can see for myself, Michael, and indeed colleagues who were in the hall this morning from Stand Up to Racism then being evicted from the hall is because we support Zara's calls for maximum member democracy. It's a stitch up, it's worse than the Labour right, and it needs to be called out.
It's worse than the Labour right. Oh, GG chat. It's game over. Oh no. Oh no.
An unelected clique of bureaucrats who have organised this event have decided, without any input from the thousands of members.
So this is outside the actual conference hall where it's taking place, that these people have been banned from entering, even though they bought a ticket, or got a ticket. I don't know if it was charged or whatever, but yeah.
Who have paid their own way to come up to a conference, to exclude people from this conference hall is an outrage. There shouldn't be Team Corbyn versus Team Sultana. There should be Team Your Party, or whatever it ends up being called, that is able to build and take the fight to reform and Labour. It's never been a more urgently needed force in this country. And yet we have people here more intent on causing arguments among ourselves than actually trying to build something willing and able to take the fight to.
But to be fair, this is very much in keeping with the entire Your Party brand. the only thing they've achieved is infighting. The only thing they've achieved is division. They are the your party People's Front of Judea. Whereas the Sultanarists are splitters or whatever. You know what I mean? It literally is that joke from 50 years ago. So I don't know why he's remotely surprised by this.
The threat that this country is facing. Councillor James Giles, Royal Borough of Kingston.
You are standing outside of the ACC conference hall. Can you tell me why?
I can. This morning I got informed that I would not be allowed to enter the Your Party venue. Not been expelled, unlike colleagues from the SWP were yesterday, but I'm one of a number of councillors.
So literally a councillor, a fucking Your Party councillor has been banned from going to the thing. Mental.
Who's today been denied entry into the hall.
And do you have any reason or knowledge of why that might be?
Well, the reason that was given to me in writing was that there was, and I quote, a private matter for which I was being investigated by the Information Commissioner's office.
Oh God, they're literally doing that as well. We saw what they. Oh my God, when Lloyd Russell Moyle defected from the Labour Party to the Green Party, he explained how they did this to him as well, right? In the Labour Party, how they said it was a personal matter, and you can't even hear the charges against you. And it's like this entire like secret. Basically, it's a stitch up. It's a total fucking stitch up. The Central Party don't want you there, so they're going to just get rid of you with chicanery and bullshit. The only thing Jeremy Corbyn seems to have learned, and this is really disgusting because I loved Jeremy Corbyn, I really did. The thing he seems to have learned from his experience in the Labour Party isn't that the way he and the left were treated was bad. It's we need to do that to other people we don't like. The gamekeeper has turned hunter. Chat. Fuck.
Now, it's so private that not even I know what it is. I've never been contacted by the Information Commissioner's office.
Honestly, if it's like anti-Semitism, that would be hilarious. Not because anti-Semitism is hilarious, but because like that's literally what they did to Jeremy Corbyn, right? They literally said, oh, you're an anti-Semite, as a way of getting rid of him. And the thing he's learned is call someone anti-Semite and kick them out of the party. It's fine, actually. Don't have heroes, chat. Just don't. Just fucking don't. He says with the Zoran Mamdani flag behind him. Jesus Christ.
About anything in my life, your party or otherwise. And so it's certainly news to me. But I'm sorry to say, I'm not the only one. Councillor Michael Lavalette from Preston, also this morning getting told, you're not allowed in either. The reason given to him was that they had seen evidence that he was going to disrupt conference, and of course when that evidence was requested, none was forthcoming.
It's ironic that they're literally using kind of Stalinist tactics to get rid of the trots. I do hope none of them get ice picked, and I literally mean that. I hope that does not happen.
Can you tell me if this is, do you feel that this is factionalism at play?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that I can see for myself, Michael, and indeed colleagues who were in the hall this morning from Stand Up to Racism then being evicted from the hall is because we support Zara's calls for maximum member democracy. There's no other reason that I can...
And Jeremy Corbyn will destroy this political party because he wants to be like the big cheese. The Führer, if you will.
...find as to why we would be denied entry into the hall. It's beyond outrageous, it's a stitch-up, it's worse than the Labour right, and it needs to be called out.
You say it was...
By the way, I should probably explain that joke for people who might be watching this on the YouTube later. I had a running joke on my channel where, because we supported Jeremy Corbyn back in the day, when he was a Labour leader, and actually after that, because of the false accusations of anti-Semitism, I did a joke where I started referring to him as Hitler or the Führer as a joke, right? Jokingly playing into the nonsense of it. So when I just referred to him as the Führer, I'm not suggesting he wants to be the Führer. It's a continuation of a running joke. And you know what's even funnier than...
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Forgot to turn that
It's
off.
your party, and will cry if it wants to. Musical notes emoji.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciated. And thank you for reminding me to turn my fucking noise alerts off for the video. And you know what's even funnier than a running joke, which is meant to be an anti-joke anyway, is having to explain that years later. Hilarious.
It's worse than the Labour right.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I think it is worse than the Labour right. You know, an unelected clique of bureaucrats who have organised this event have decided, without any input from the thousands of members who have paid their own way to come up to a conference, to exclude people from this conference hall is an outrage. You know, we're used to the Labour right stitching up a Labour conference, but this was meant to be a democratic, grassroots, inclusive movement that was meant to be more democratic than any party had ever had in British electoral history.
Right, and what part of the unelected group of people who would be making the rules led you to believe that that was going to happen? Because Jeremy Corbyn and his people have already essentially ensconced themselves as the Politburo of this particular organisation. So why did you think this was going to be particularly democratic? Like, I could have predicted all of this. Not necessarily that this individual person would be excluded, but this kind of factionalism and backbiting. In fact, I did predict all of this. I told you that this was going to go the way it was. I said I would remain, hopeful that it would improve and become better, but that ultimately this was going to fail, I think. Not only because the way it was started was so pathetically poor, but the fact that it took them like over a year to even get going with it. It was shambolic before it started, and it'll be shambolic forever. And be remembered as an embarrassment, a smear, a stain upon the British left. This guy was involved with George Galloway's Workers' Party. I don't think that justifies kicking him out, though. Well, exactly, yeah. Look, if you're going to accept leftists from all over the place, you have to accept leftists from all over the place. Like, I think allying yourself with someone like George Galloway means you're probably a bellend. You're probably a wrong un. But the Your Party people were like, no, we'll accept leftists from everywhere. Except you, and you. And you.
And so the concept that an unelected clique are able to simply say at the click of the fingers on spurious grounds, you're not allowed into the venue, go away. You know, it's absolutely outrageous.
Have you been working for Zara Sultana since July?
No, I've never taken a penny from Zara.
No, but have you been working with
Yeah, that's a suspicious way of putting that. That wasn't, no, I haven't been working for her. It's she hasn't paid me. Okay, but you know you can work for free, right?
with her?
Oh, I've been working with her, yes, but not working for her.
Because the allegation from the other camp or certain people is that you are one of the many people who are behind the membership portal. Is that true?
No, I'm sorry to say that this is, as you put it earlier, factionalism. This is, if you like...
So was the portal thing.
Evidence of the point I just made, that there is a witch hunt going on here against those who support Zara's...
Fuck off, he doesn't look like me. I haven't even got glasses. Me and this guy are the Superman and Clark Kent of British leftism.
calls for maximum member democracy. There are many people that are currently in that venue that you could place in Team Corbyn in the same way that they would place me in Team Sultana. I actually hope still that from this conference members will be able to, if I can use the phrase, take back control of the party and actually put members in the driving seat and put an end to this nonsense. There shouldn't be Team Corbyn versus Team Sultana. There should be Team Your Party, or whatever it ends up being called, that is...
Oh yeah, and on that point, there are 4 names, chat. There are 4 names. They're going to vote on this at the conference. Those are the names. that you get to choose from. You can't just put your own suggestion in. Oh, no. It's so democratic you get 4 choices. Either it's going to be the Popular Alliance. Apparently popular won't be in quotation marks either. Your party, so just sticking with what they already had. For the Many, which obviously has the initials FTM, which I'm sure no transphobes will use as ammunition. And Our Party, so just dropping the U, ironically. Yeah, that's bad. Those are a bad group. Like, surely one of the options had to involve the word left or socialist or something. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got no problem with Your Party because, like, people have already been calling it Your Party, so maybe they want to stick with that. Fine. Popular Alliance doesn't really sound like much. For the Many is a genuinely wank name, and Our Party is just lazy. So, like, one of them has to include, like, either be called, like, the New Left Party or the Socialist Party or some variant of that, because I think the Socialist Party technically already exists. But whatever, like the fact that none of the parties none of the options available have the word leftist or left or socialist in it is ludicrous. Absolute joke of a fucking thing.
Able to build and take the fight to reform and Labour. It's never been a more urgently needed force in this country. And yet we have people here more intent on causing arguments among ourselves than actually trying to build something willing and able to take the fight to the threat that this country is facing.
Are you concerned that if we find out overnight that there is going to be a single leader of your party rather than a collective leadership, are you concerned that there could be an ugly fallout between Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn?
Well, I hope not. I mean, my hope is still that members will vote for a collective leadership. That's my personal preference. And
yeah, it's not going to happen, is it, mate?
I'm not allowed in. That's how I'll be voting on my app when the vote comes around.
Technology gate crashing. Love it.
But if it is a sole leader, look, Zara has said very plainly she will throw her hat into the ring. And indeed, I'm sure Jeremy will too. But I hope that whatever disagreements there are, it can be conducted in a comradely manner.
You are literally banned from the venue. You are outside the venue that you are banned from. Surely the time for comradely blah 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 has passed. They've already shown you their hand. That is not an option.
Because, you know, we owe it to the movement to make sure that we are able to build something that's long-lasting and durable. And we can't afford to have it ruined by petty squabbles.
Just finally, I think sort of on a more uplifting note, is there anything that you would like to be decided or debated this weekend? Any guiding principle that you would like to see part of your party?
Well, look, I actually think that the Democratic Bloc's amendments to the papers are actually pretty much in line where I am. You know, I want a CEC election, which, you know, is the equivalent of Labour's NEC. It's the ruling committee of the party. I want that elected as soon as possible. So the sooner that's elected, the better. I want members to be put into the driving seat. You know, I don't want seats on that to be reserved for MPs, for public office holders, because actually, I think the last few months have shown that without any member involvement, it's a bloody mess. And so...
yeah, it's not just the member involvement that's the issue. 255 asks the very pertinent question. Back in the day, you and a lot of other leftists said that Corbyn should have been more dominant with his underlings as leader of the Labour Party. Does this make you reconsider that? Well, no, because the problem is, or the difference is, I should say, that within the Labour Party, that was already well established. He was never going to be the king of the Labour Party. What he needed to be was to get his fucking parliamentary party in line. To crack a whip, so to speak, and enforce his will upon that particular organisation, which isn't even purporting to be a democratic socialist organisation anymore, right? So the idea that, oh, well, that's against membership or whatever, it's bollocks, right? Firstly, he had a massive mandate from the party various times to be the leader of that particular political party and to take it in a different direction than the PLP wanted to take it. And so, yeah, he had absolutely every right to do that and should have done that and would have been better had he done that. But he tried to be a little bit too conciliatory. It was ironic. They called him a Stalinist, and yet he was like the most accepting. He had people like fucking Keir Starmer as his shadow Brexit secretary, for fuck's sake. He invited all the snakes into the shadow cabinet, you know, and then wondered why he got bitten to death. Whereas this organisation is one that he can just enforce his will upon. It's a completely new thing. And so he doesn't have any mandate to do any of these things. Like kicking the SWP people out is ludicrous because they're saying like, well, it's against the rules. What rules? You literally haven't had a fucking political conference yet. You haven't decided on any rules. You've just made up some rules in order to enforce that when they do vote on the rules will be exactly what you set them out to be. Which is very Stalinist, because that's how Stalin did his thing. Look into the way in which the East German Parliament was elected after the war. It said, what was the old phrase, Ulrich said, it must appear democratic, but we must have it in our hands. So you set it up in a way that means you will always have control of it. It may appear democratic, although in East Germany's case, not so much. But you know, you have control ultimately, and that does appear to be what he's doing, which is very sad.
I'm sorry that that's perhaps not as uplifting as it could be, but I do believe, genuinely, from the people that have come here, from the people that will be voting from the comfort of their homes, that there is a strong enough movement that will be resilient enough to put members in the driving seat so we can start building that party.
Yeah, good luck with that, chap. And it gets even worse because literally Zara Sultana, one of the few MPs that remains in your party, the the person to whom that person was referring, literally was outside their own conference, essentially protesting your own conference, your own founding conference. You see what I mean by OmniShamblesClusterFudge? One of the two big fish in this particularly small, fetid pond was protesting their own founding conference.
Would you like those?
And being interviewed, by the way, outside of that conference by friend of the show, Curtis from Turn Left. Everyone go and follow Turn Left immediately.
Would you like those who have been expelled to be reinstated?
Absolutely, they shouldn't have been expelled in the first place. These are groups that don't even run in elections, and if we are here to be the home of the left, a home for all socialists, this is not how you treat members. This is what the Labour Party did, where people were expelled, members were treated just like volunteers, not allowed to actually make decisions and just thrown on the scrap heap. We're here to treat people with respect and end a toxic culture that is ridden with leaks to the press, smears, allegations, and sabotage, including what happened to me before I went on BBC Question Time.
Zara, who exactly is making the expulsions?
Absolute savagery. I love to see it.
Well, we don't know, and that's what it makes it completely undemocratic. And the fact that this has happened on the morning of conference means that members haven't had a chance to decide that, and that has to be called out. It's undemocratic, it's unacceptable, and the movement and the membership won't accept that.
Would you like?
Well, in summing up, I can hardly think of a better phrase than the one just used by Zara Sultana, Member of Parliament. It's undemocratic and it's unacceptable. That sums up the entirety of what this organisation has become. It's undemocratic and it's unacceptable. What happened to her before Question Time? Oh yeah, the other MPs, back before they resigned, back before all of this, they issued a statement basically saying, "Where's the money, bitch?" Yeah, the other MPs released a statement a couple of hours before she went on Question Time, basically saying, "You know that money from the original Portal thing? Where's all the money? Are you stealing the money? Don't steal the money." Which, you know, was purposefully timed to try and undermine her, because this organisation is the People's Front of Judea, chat. In case anyone was wondering. Yeah, this organisation needs to just move along. It's over. You need to do one. Okay? The Green Party exists. It may not be as left as a lot of people in your party would want, but I think there are a lot of people who will see the absolute clusterfuck that is your party and go, you know what? The Green Party under Zack Polanski is clearly and obviously so much better placed to actually achieve anything than this complete clown show, this dumpster fire of an organisation. Jeremy Corbyn has really let me down. I had a lot of time for him. I genuinely did. I loved the man. He sold his soul to get in bed with Adnan Hussein, and then Adnan Hussein immediately left. You fucked yourself. For whatever good he may have done in the past, I don't think he can be of any real use going forward. And that's a shame. I suppose I'll keep you updated with how terribly this conference goes. You never know, it might go brilliantly. It won't. I watched the first day of it. It was a joke. Stay tuned. Okay, that bit's going on YouTube. That was good. Anyway, is that a German flag? It is, yes. This particular kit is a Birmingham City kit. It was an alternate, or a replica of, an alternate from mid-1970s. It was done initially as just a one-off thing. They were on a pre-season tour in Germany, West Germany, because it was the 70s. And they decided to have this kit made, which is essentially a kind of mock-up of... There was the old Penguin kit, so the regular kit was 2 blue stripes. This bit was blue, and the middle bit was white. And the alternate, the away shirt, was red with the white. And so they made the same basic design, but with the colours of the German flag as like a bit. And they kept it for that one season and used it like 4 times ever. But it became iconic, so, you know, it's become like a thing. I like it. What is this? Your party conference doing its best to shut down anyone daring to call a transphobe a transphobe. Oh no, what is this?
Hi there, conference. My name is Erin from Glasgow.
Hello.
When this party started, it included 2 MPs who were openly transphobic.
True.
One was a landlord.
True.
This party preaches unity and equality for its working class members.
I'm sorry, I need to stop you there for calling them transphobic from the rostrum. Can you please stick to the motion?
It's going... Isn't it nice, the quiet?
Two members who allegedly expressed transphobic views.
Also, did they scream twat at this person, or am I...
The motion.
That definitely sounded like someone screaming twat. I don't know who at, but this is... Yeah, your party's going super well.
Two members who allegedly expressed transphobic views.
Don't call the transphobe a transphobe. This party needs to die, man. This party needs to just fuck off.
Very, 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 very cringe. Very, very, very cringe.
Literally. How are we getting on, chat? Are we well? I'll turn noises back on now. Now that we've got a thing. Did anything happen whilst I was Thank you to Darius Jonah, possibly, for becoming a member on the YouTubes. Much love. Anyway, you know who's not cringe, chat? Both Helena, friend of the show, Helena, of the No Justice MTGs, and Zack Polanski. So you know what's super not cringe? The two of them together. Oh, podcast friend. Oh, podcast.
Build a movement. There are lots of ways, from community organising to mobilising to campaigning. And one of the bits I'm really interested in is how do you make sure that you're connecting with people every single day so they're hearing you and you're hearing from them. One group of people who excel at that are YouTube streamers.
I do. Yes. Thanks for the shout out, Zach. I wasn't expecting it, mate. Thank you. Yep. I just heard my partner going, ooh, podcast from the other room.
And in fact, one of my favourite...
Oh, podcast friends. Oh, podcast.
...favourite YouTube streamers is Helena, NoJusticeMTG, and I'm delighted...
Shout the fuck out. Everyone go and follow NoJusticeMTG.
...that today she's in the studio.
Hello, Zack. Chris Packham here. I hear you've signed up to Eco Talk. That's very bold of you. Brilliant.
Zack Polanski, Chris Packham, and Helena. Honestly, this the real triumvirate, and I love it.
And if you don't mind me saying, very bright of you too. If your audience is half as smart as you, then they'll sign up too at ecotalk.co.uk.
So first of all, welcome on the show.
Oh, there you go. There's the shot, chat. Look at them together. Absolutely gorgeous creatures. Fucking love it.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Going out to the party. Is that that could be a new name for your party, I guess. Thank you to the Goat Boy, or just Goat Boy, for 10 gifted memberships. Much love to you. That's very generous. Thank you. Yeah, the Really Wild Show was the fucking shit back in the day. Michaela Strachan and fucking Chris Packham together, the dream team.
It's good to be here.
Something I don't know if I've necessarily ever told you in person is, this is going to sound a little bit random first of all, but I cycle everywhere around London. I have a helmet on. I'm only saying that because people go, what, you're listening to podcasts while you cycle around? But actually, the helmet doesn't have ears, so it kind of blasts the sound out as I'm cycling around. And very often when I'm cycling around, I'm listening to your streams, so from the night before.
Zack Polanski's heard me do dick jokes. I'm kind of a big deal. I'm just saying.
And it's funny because often on your streams I've heard you say, I'm sure Zack listens to this stream because I said this thing and then I heard it on this interview a few days later. And it is to confirm that absolutely I think you're so often spot on in your analysis and the way that you put things.
To be fair, I did hear him do a dick joke in that one interview and I was like, he listens. He definitely listens. He just called someone an absolute fucking penguin maltoid. He listens. He's a listener. He's a Kevolutionary, chat. Love it.
I think one of the reasons why you put it so well, and this is, I guess, an interesting first question, is because you stream for so many hours an evening and you have to keep an audience. If you're boring or dull or overly repetitive, the audience will just disappear, right?
Thanks.
But I think the way that you talk about the nuance and complexity of politics, but in a way that's really accessible to someone, whether they've been listening to you for 3 hours or they've just popped into your stream for 5 minutes, you just have a really good way of holding an audience. Is that something that's deliberate, and how have you developed that?
I mean, the thing with the UK, especially when it comes to British politics, is that because our society is so old, the kind of very specific parts of British politics.
All I'm saying, Zack, come on, mate. You can become a member. It's $5 or something. Do I still have that image? Hang on, let me have a look. I do still have that. Hang on. There you go. It's just $5, chat, or something, maybe. I don't know. Hang on a minute. Fuck. There we go. $5. It's just $5. Oh, $5. So, you know, chat. Zack, become a member, mate. It would help.
That have led to us to get to this point. They're obviously difficult to be able to master the full complexities of them, as you say. But one of the important things is so rigid, especially with the class structure in our society and the ways in which the different material change in politics has created the kind of political environment that we see today, that being able to understand that and the political economy of that in the way that it represents itself is...
Hey, hello, Left of the Box. Everyone go and follow Left of the Box immediately. We're listening to Helena on Zack Polanski's podcast. Oh, podcast!
Especially in electoral politics, which is mostly what I talk about on stream, is really easy to be able to get the audience to understand how things have happened, right? Obviously, I believe in historical materialism and that things happen because of the material circumstances that brought them to be where they are, right? That's how society moves forward. And be able to get my audience to understand that within the context of British politics is one of the...
Yeah, Solly, that Woke Busters video was fucking mental. Yeah. If you missed that, Zack, I know you're listening, mate. If you missed that, scroll back to the start of the thing. Obviously, pull off to the side of the road so you're nice and safe, okay? And then scroll back to the start, and it was that bit. It's quite visual though, so I'm not sure it works as just a thing because it's not a podcast. Oh, podcast!
The things I'm trying to do with my stream, right? Rather than try and make everything a microcosm of the times that it's in, make people understand how that's reflected in all of the different decisions that led up to that point. That's the kind of, again, the complexity that I would like to impart upon my...
But that is actually super dope, right? Because, like, I knew about No Justice when she was, like, really small. She had, like, 5 people watching or whatever, right? I don't want to say, like, I'm not bigging myself, but you know what I mean? Like, to see someone grow from that point to now, to the point where a guy who's actually having a genuine impact on British politics is listening to her. That's actually super fucking dope, right? It's not even just like that it's kind of fun to be like, oh shit, that man's heard my voice or whatever, right? That's kind of, that obviously on a personal level, that's sort of dope, right? But to see someone actually intelligent and articulate and awesome, who's also a friend, in the case of Helena, right? Now actually being literally in the ear of a powerful person with an opportunity to affect things. That's fucking awesome. That's so good. I'm so happy, but honestly, I feel like I could cry. You've got fucking Curtis from Turn Left. Everyone should go and follow. Interviewing Zara Sultana at the fucking Your Party conference, and you've now got Helena on the Zack Polanski podcast. That's fucking amazing. I love it. Genuinely, I'm so proud of both of them. I could cry. It's fucking amazing. Love it. Round of applause for both of them. Let's fucking go.
The audience. It does help when you're live streaming in my specific kind of realm. Is the obviously I do Novara Live. It's what most people will know me for if they don't watch my
Novara
stream personally. When you do Novara Live, it's a set script and you're reading straight to camera, and there's no audience interaction other than checking for super chats and things like that between stories. But when you're streaming live,
don't forget you can do super chats to me as well, chat.
kind of, as you say, 2-3 hours every day. Like I stream 6 days a week. The audience get to know you, and you get to know the audience, and you're directly interacting with chat every single minute of every single stream that you do.
I'm not, but you know.
So if there's ever any point where the audience doesn't understand, or where the audience have got something that responds to what you say, or they counteract what you say, you can...
Fogel, that's so true. To be fair, I think if Kev was going to interview Zack, he'd be overstimulated and end up biting him. That's so true. I would. I'd go and sniff him or something. Just be like, oh shit, you don't smell like him at all. Did you just bite me, Kevin? Maybe. Were you into it? I wasn't not into it. Thank you, Dingus Van Zant, for gifting us up to Zack Planky Poo. Now, unless you know something about him that I don't think that's his real channel. I don't know.
Always keep that conversation going, because it's much easier to be able to continue riffing off of what the audience are telling you in real time, which you don't get if the show is scripted, which I think is important. It also helps that when you're reacting to the kind of stuff that I react to, which is usually daytime politics or question time or things like that, is that there's always something there to keep the audience hooked and to keep them engaged with the content. And if I need to take a break and I need to...
Twitch won't let you gift subs. Why? What? That's very strange. A company doesn't want you to give them money.
Be able to find a new direction to take the stream. There's always something on in the background to be able to find a new way to riff off of that, to be able to explain or be able to exposit something important to the audience about what's being talked about, if you see what I mean.
Absolutely. And you talk a lot about...
True, but I mainly just call people cunts. Because this is I suppose, the difference between Helena's approach to politics and mine. Helena wants to be analytical with it. And that's why, I mean, she'll go much further than I will. Like, I want her and fucking Curtis to become so big they forget that I ever existed. That's fine, right? I know where I'm at, right? Did someone say abandonment issues? I didn't say that. Anyway, I genuinely want them to become like stratospheric. I want them to be fucking doing TV shows and speaking at the fucking UN and shit, right? Or speaking at organisations that actually matter and can make a difference in the world. Boom. Burn on the UN. Yes. We'll still be here, Kev. Well, exactly. We're all in the gutter, and some of us are always just going to be in the gutter. You will always be my descent of manosphere, but oh, thank you, Sally. I love that. Much love. Yeah. So, but anyway, the point being, she wants to be analytical with it, right? She wants to be analytical. And like go into all the economics and blah blah blah. Whereas what I do is about the fact that I see the world as I'm angry about this. It's not that I want to be analytical with it. I want to shout at people. I want to shout because the world is annoying and frustrating. This country and this planet could be so much better than it is, and it's run by the worst fucking people and all of that. And so it's that disgust with the way in which the world is run that fuels me to be an activist. So I'm not trying to be analytical. Don't get me wrong, I can do analysis and stuff, and I do have reasons why I believe the things I believe and argue for the things I argue for. But generally speaking, I'm not going to sit here and break down economics for you or anything like that. But show me a cunt and I'll call them a cunt, you know? Which doesn't have as big a reach, you know? And that's fine. I am what I am. I'm not going to change to be more popular or whatever. Oh, to get a podcast. Oh, podcast. I'm not suggesting Helena, Joe. I mean, like, I would have to change to get on a podcast. And I'm not going to do that. I will be forever bereft of podcast. Oh.
About populism. It's
I
very
do, yes.
cathartic for me to get this out of my system. But what do you mean about what do you mean by populism, Helene?
I mean, populism has always been, you talked about this with Lewis Goodall, one of the newsagents, this difference between...
Yeah, exactly. As Zoran was asked to do, to denounce Hassan Piker and Hamas, Zack Polanski will be asked to condemn Palestine Action and KF Logan 1875 on Twitch.tv. He said America deserved 9/11. He didn't. For legal reasons, he didn't.
The interest of a set of elites, a specific subset of elites that is prioritised in politics, and it is everybody else who's outside, like the broader people who are being undermined or who have their interests less pandered to than that set of elites. That's the way I would...
Hey, hello JFK Rotting. Everyone go and follow JFK Rotting. Otherwise, I will fuck you up. I won't, but you know.
Talk about it. That's the kind of framing that I use. And this is why I think left populism is so important, because fundamentally the basis of socialist politics, especially since Marx until today, has been about class conflict.
Oh, Marx wrote...
It's been about the broader proletariat versus the bourgeois, right? That's a populist framework of looking at political economy. And I think understanding the kind of world we live in now through that lens is really important. I mean, you've made it that point very succinctly and very cogently in many kind of political appearances, where it is a very small subset of international, supranational megacorporations who have inordinate amounts of control over our economy, and you have individual multimillionaires and billionaires who have an inordinate amount of sway within our politics, right? It's not just in terms of having their interests represented politically, in terms of the fact that they can...
So anti-Semitic. Jesus Christ.
Say, well, we're taking our business elsewhere, for example, throw our factories into the sea, as Gary would point out. Or it's about them be able to have their own interests be given more prominence than everything else because they're spending money on think tanks, for example. Their funding will come from that dark money, and that will use to gain their ideas and things that benefit them more prominence in the body politic. But broadly, in terms of the power they have economically as well to shape the economy in their interests, because in a free market, the people who have the most money are the easiest at competing within that market. They also hold a huge amounts of sway there as well. So especially...
Kev's like my mate's mate who I can't handle. To be fair, right, I'm not like that. I'm not really like this in real life. This is a sort of bigged up, angrier, swearier version of the person I actually am. I genuinely am much more chill. Beccal, I think we'd be okay if you were feeling delicate. I wouldn't be. I'm not like angry Kev all the time, you know. I do swear a lot, but just not as much as I do on stream. On stream, I don't need to watch myself because, like, the reason that you don't swear all the time and call people names is because I don't want to get stabbed. I'd really, really like not to be stabbed up. So you don't go around being like, if someone does something a bit annoying in public, you don't go, the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing, you penguin maltoid piece of shit? Get fucking wrecked, mate. Because you get fucking knifed up, right? Whereas online, it sort of doesn't matter. You can just be like, fuck you, you piece of shit. So in reality, you have to sort of, you know, there are social barriers in place to keep you kind of, you know, on the straight and narrow. Whereas online, you can just be like, fuck it, whatever. Kevin the Persona and me would mutually avoid each other IRL. Probably, yeah. I think there's probably a lot of people on the left that don't like the Persona. Another reason, along with the fact that I don't really offer anything in terms of analysis, that I'm never going to be on the podcast.
Economic left populism, I think, is where we need to be looking in the terms of framework.
I'm not even jealous, chat. I'm not. Anyone who says that I'm jealous is you're just a fucking hater.
Work to win over people, especially people who are kind of only tangentially following politics, So More in Common have these seven categories in the breakdown of how modern society in Britain is stratified, and they have this group called the Skeptical Scrollers. For people who don't know, that's just people who can only pay attention to politics now because it's being put through social media. I think this is a really good lens in which we on the left can approach these people, because one of the things that those people share with us on the left, and also with the what More in Common describe as the dissenting disruptors, these people on the far right, or who are at least voting for the far right and supporting the far right, is this skepticism of big business. It's the skepticism of the super rich. Because
for me, it's not even just skepticism. Skepticism suggests that it's possible they're not evil bastards. Like, skepticism means you're open to the concept that they're not disgusting. And I'm not skeptical of any of that. I'm fully aware of the fact that you only ever become super rich by being evil. Genuinely, monumentally evil. Or inheriting the money of someone who was genuinely evil. Either way, the initial creation of that wealth is through evil. And the maintenance of that wealth is also through evil. So it's not skepticism. It's disgust. It's anger. It's hatred in many respects. I'm not skeptical of Elon Musk. I despise Elon Musk. You know?
everyone can see it. Everyone looks at what's happening in our day-to-day lives in terms of politics, and they're seeing these people's interests prioritized over their own, and being able to find a way of harnessing that skepticism from the left is going to be important, I think, politically in the coming years.
Listening to you then, it just really strikes me, because very often you watch things like Politics Live, and for the audience that might not know you, I'm sure lots do.
Oh, he listens to the podcast, the Politics Live. Oh, Zack.
But you pause it, and then you often give the answer you would have given, or give a critique of the answer that's given. Seems to me in any fair media-minded world, you'd be on the panel in these shows.
True. See, he so listens. He so fucking listens, because we've both said that multiple times. She should be on these fucking panels. The fucking maltoids they give a seat to on Question Time, whereas Helena would be fucking dope. He knows the score. He knows the fucking score, this lad. What's happening? Rory Katz is a quick down. Oh, you're gonna try? Are you trying to make me fucking cry? Oh, look at my baby. My dead baby. Oh, my heart. Oh, I forgot I even did that. This is actually on my channel. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. Okay, cool. Awesome. He did like doing biscuits. Also an LMFAO reference. I'm sorry for party rocking, okay?
It's because you speak brilliantly and you have a lot to say.
Thank you.
On the right, we have constant talking heads from the IEA, or random commentators, or people who work for The Spectator.
True.
But we rarely have that kind of same system on the left. We do, of course, in independent media, but we don't see that on mainstream TV. I'm trying to find a way of creating a coherent question, which isn't just obvious. My question is, why are we not hearing more left-wing voices on TV? I guess I will just ask that question.
I'm not playing with all these mutants.
Thank you, SK the Crusader. Much love. Everyone go and follow SK the Crusader, who is dope. Welcome in, new people. I'm Kevin Logan, a socialoid from the UK. If that's of any interest to you, hit the follow button. It's free, and I'm sexy. Thinking Cybercat asks, have you looked into the big tax of the rich, as the 2 million above is less than... See, this is the thing. Thinking Cybercat, what you have done is fundamentally misunderstood the point I was making earlier. When I was making the point that I don't do analysis and breakdown of economics and all that sort of stuff, what you've decided to do is ask me a very, very pointed political and economic thing. What you should do is ask that to Helena or Gary Economics or something like that. Basically, rich people need to pay all of the tax ever. I genuinely think if you're earning, I don't know where the exact threshold would be, but it needs to be many times more than it currently is. Needs to be tax-free, right? So at the moment, I can't remember the exact allowance. It's like 14 grand a year or something, and you don't pay any income tax on that, right? That needs to be like 40 grand or something. I don't know, whatever the fucking thing would be, right? People who are that devoid of income shouldn't be paying income tax. 12.5 grand personal allowance, there you go, which is fuck all. That's like, for Americans, that's like $15,000 or something like that, right? That's nothing. That's absolutely fucking nothing. That needs to be several times higher. And the difference you make up is the fact that rich people will be forced to pay a lot higher tax on those upper bands. Again, because again, it's gradated, right? You're going to have different strands of that. So therefore, let's say we set the limit at 40,000. Jeff Bezos' first $40,000 or £40,000 or whatever would be tax free as well, because everyone would get that. And then if you earn up to 100 grand, it's, you know, a relatively small percentage of tax. And then 100 to 200, it'd be a bit more, and so on and so forth. And if you're earning billions, then you should be paying billions, because no one needs fucking billions. What we do need is hospitals. Jeff Bezos does not need a boat for his boat for his boat for his boat for his fucking boat. People do need schools and libraries and shit. Okay, well, I definitely can't... You know the song, what it's going to be. But yeah. That's the same video, though, basically. But yeah. You are trying to make me cry. You are literally... I'm already having to fight it back at watching my friend being interviewed by future Prime Minister Zachary Polanski. And now you're throwing Rory Cats into the mix as well. And I'm going to actually fucking tear up. Back when he used to wear a fucking collar as well. For the last few years, I didn't have a collar on him. He was fine. I just fleed him properly. Well, I always fleed him properly, but I mean, I put the nip on his neck every month or whatever. Read for free. What's this? Reeves accused of misleading public on budget black hole to justify citizen tax rate. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Rachel Reeves is a fucking liar. What a surprise. Crazy, I know.
You kind of laid out the reason why is that we don't have billionaire backers, right? It's important that the right wing do kind of think that we do, because there are broad liberal voices, not leftist voices, but broader liberal voices, liberal capitalist voices, who have like socially progressive opinions, but not necessarily economically progressive opinions, who have been boosted by money that's come from billionaires and millionaires who share those socially liberal values, which is what most people in kind of common parlance think of when they hear the left, especially in kind of modern politics, since the kind of a class link to especially the Labour Party has broken down over the last kind of 20, 30 years or so. So when they think left wing, they think liberal. But in terms of left economics, there would be no reason for anyone from the billionaire or supranational...
1875, you need one of these cats and lots of cat food.
Thank you for bits, thinking Sabercut. What is this? Oh my god, that is a fucking... A bear tiger? Look how massive that is. That's too big. You know, my house is... It's not that big, you know. Theodore Scritches McWiggles. That is an adorable cat, though, to be fair. Oh shit, I forgot I even had this. Yeah, there's a fucking thumbnail on my... Not thumbnail, a playlist on my thing. No, not the... Why would I want the Creator Studio? What? Just play the fucking video, you cunt. Wow, amazing video quality there from Kev.
Agenda. So there's... Sure.
Fucking interrupted me in that. Oh my god, that's so old. I had a fucking VCR and DVD player in the thing there. Look at that. pre-Netflix and that. Ah, Mummy Cat. She's still alive. She's well outlived. This is Rory Cat's mama, who's still with us. She's got to be like nearly 20 now. The squeakiest cat that ever... The tiniest, squeakiest cat ever.
Yeah, the Mummy Cat. She's clever. She's clever. Mummy Cat.
Yeah, she lives with my dad. She's my dad's cat. Well, one of his many cats.
She's the squeaky.
Ah.
Say hello, Rory Cat. Say hello to the internet. Rory Cat.
Oh, look at him in the cone of shame.
Hello.
I wonder which one of his many fucking accidents led him to this. I still haven't painted that fucking lintel. Lintel? It's still fucking grey. Fucking hell.
Just thought I'd show everyone my caveman moves. I created fire! Not with my own hands, obviously. Not fucking magic.
Was Mommy Cats always called it? No, she was originally called Nut, but she had like 4 lots of babies. Because she kept getting pregnant before, like, there has to be a certain amount of time after pregnancy before they can, like, fix her at the vet. Like, they have to let it heal and all that. And so she kept getting fucking pregnant again. So she had like 4 fucking litters. And yeah, she was, so everyone just started calling her Mummy Cat.
But you get the idea. Anyway.
Why is this in this playlist? Does Rory Cat's make an appearance?
Look who's come to join me. Oh, the Rory Cat.
Oh, look at him, legend.
And he's sort of asleep, but not quite. There we are. Do not go gently.
Anyway, you get the idea.
Corporations to want to back us to put funding into what we do because our explicit goal is materially in conflict with what these people want. We want the billionaires to be taxed more. We want those who...
Yeah, there was... I should explain the fire. The council wanted a fuck ton of money to come and like collect all this old wood. And I was like, well, if you don't come and collect it, I'll just burn it. And they were like, okay. So I went and bought one of those big... Not big, but like those fire bin things and just... pumped that oxygen, that carbon into the atmosphere. Ha 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 ha.
For national corporations to have less power, to have less control over the governments, which is what they want to do, right? So, for example, one of the big conspiracy theories on the right is this idea of the World Economic Forum having so much control over our governments. In reality, what the World Economic Forum is, it's just a big lobbying organisation for supranational corporations to come together and give governments an idea of what they want, right? So, for example,
honestly, this cat is wise. This cat knows things. That cat looks like it's about to drop some serious economics on us. Love it. That cat invented steam engines or some shit.
Really good, important kind of case study of the power of the people who frequent these kind of organisations is that Rachel Reeves and the Labour Party, in the run-up to the election, they had this £28 billion plan for public investment into green energy. Like, I think most people supported that. It was one of their most popular policies. And then in the run-up to the election, when bond yields were pretty high or whatever, they said, we're scrapping this policy. They said openly when they were interviewed it was because they wanted to make sure that they had economically viable plans. I don't buy into that nonsense. You know how I feel about capital expenditure and what governments can use sovereign currency to be able to fund. But they
imagine what a flex that is, by the way. Look, she's making a good point besides, but let's just take a moment to admire that. Like, you already know, you know how I feel about this, Zack. Imagine, like, that's so fucking dope. That's so awesome. To just be like, you already know how I feel about this. Leader of major political party, Zachary Polanski. Honestly, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Do I have a noise for that? I don't know.
Epic dub.
There you go.
They briefed out to the press that it was they thought they couldn't win an election whilst running on this plan. The Conservatives would say they're reckless with spending, you can't win, it's an albatross around our necks, is how they briefed it to the press. But in reality, what happened was that Rachel Reeves met this woman from what's called the Green Finance Institute at the World Economic Forum in Davos. And she was like, don't do public investment, do private investment with public partnerships, right? And so that's when the £28 billion promise got cut down. And it was entirely because there was someone from the private sector who had lobbying power because they'd met at this meeting of the supranational corporations and political operatives and had made this connection to be able to convince them to do something that was more for the private sector, with more private ownership than what we do want, if from a left populist lens, is for the people to own, whether it's public ownership or cooperative ownership or local authority ownership in terms of green energy, which was originally the plan, right? Ed Miliband had this thing called the local power plan, which was to have more power owned by local authorities. You can use that to cut council tax, or you can use that to increase the coffers for local authorities. And that's got scaled back because somebody from the Green Finance Institute, who has this institutional power because of the kind of areas they frequent, that they're capitalists who have capitalist ends and capitalist profits in mind. And that's why we don't have the policy that we wanted in the run-up to the election. So there's nothing conspiratorial about what's happening with the power these people have in terms of the World Economic Forum, whatever it is. They're just capitalists doing capitalist things. And when you listen to right-wingers talking about the World Economic Forum, they act like there's this kind of communist cabal that's trying to control everything. Like the line they go with is, well, you will own nothing and be happy. And I'm like, well, that's just what, landlords...
Yeah, that's capitalism. Yeah.
And people who own assets do. They make money off of owning. They have the power to buy those assets so that working and middle class people don't get access to those assets, and they make continual passive income off of that, right? Like, that's just capitalism in action. It's rentier capitalism in action.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So much of the right wing's opposition to things like Davos is them describing capitalism and then blaming socialism for it when these things already happen. You know, in capitalism. If his mother lives with your dad, does that mean you and Rory were actually half brothers? Yes. Yes. No, but yes, but no.
And the lobbying power of these institutions like the World Economic Forum is not individualised, that's not specific to the World Economic Forum. It's broadly how all these lobbying institutions work, Chamber of Commerce, etc., etc. It's all about those specific interests.
Low-key, don't take it to that place.
Rest of those corporations rather than everybody else. And that's why they fund the Institute of Economic Affairs, they'll fund like the Centre for Policy Studies or all these other think tanks so that they can get policy which is deregulatory, which is lower taxation, which is stripping workers' rights away, because that's in their material interest, right? Like, if workers' pay is low, you can make more profit. Up until they can no longer buy your products, I guess.
Well, exactly, that's the point, yeah. Your individual workplace in the short term makes more money. But if everyone just gets less and less and less and less, no one has any buying capacity or buying power to buy those products that you're making. It's a doom loop.
Guess. But if you pay lower tax on corporations, they have more power and more money to be able to interact with the market and to be able to subsume those assets. And if you take away things like antitrust laws, which one of the big things from like the Reagan and Thatcher era was this rolling back of antitrust laws, then you don't really have this power to interact with monopolies. It's why fundamentally right-wingers really wanted us to leave the European Union, especially, is because whilst I don't think the European Union is perfect, one thing they did do well was antitrust and monopolies legislation, and now we don't have access to that, right? That is...
Exactly, and it's tacitly the understanding that, or them wanting monopolies to exist, yeah. Because that's where capitalism will also always go. In an actual free market, there will always be a coagulation of wealth in certain areas, whether it be geographic or based on finite resources or whatever. And the more money you have, the easier it is to enforce your will and get more and more and more and more, and eventually it becomes a monopoly. It always becomes a monopoly. And Capistan is merely the illogical, dumb fuck outcome or outcrop, cancerous growth upon that particular ideology.
The lobbying power of the super rich, and on here on the left we have a total material opposition to that. We want higher wages, we want higher taxation, we want assets more fairly distributed, and that's what a wealth tax is for, to make sure those assets go back into the market so the working and middle class people can be able to own them again, or governments indeed as well, the public sector. And that is materially opposed, so why would they fund it? There's just no reason for them to fund it at all.
I think is a good journalist, but you could see that it was so outside the frame that these conversations normally happen that she just went, "Oh, that's really interesting," and then the conversation.
Henry
had to move
Zeffman
on.
said the same thing on the newscast as well, didn't he?
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Part of this for me is a comms question. So on this podcast already, we've had Gary Stevenson.
Oh, podcast!
Who I know the audience will be very familiar with, who is saying it's time for a wealth tax. We then had Richard Murphy come in, though, and talk about actually a wealth tax is a distraction because actually there's all these other things that you need to do. I'm paraphrasing there, but people can go back and watch the full conversation. From a comms point of view, is this just about pushing the Overton window? Is it about like drip feeding new information into the kind of public sphere so people can change the paradigm? Do we need to be bolder with that? This is called bold politics. Or
podcast advert.
Do we need to work within the existing framework and kind of tinker at the edges?
Yeah, obviously I would agree with that, but I think that what a wealth tax is, it's a very specific point that especially
it's
Gary
one
will
policy
make, that looks at asset ownership and who owns what, right? Like fundamentally what's interesting is watching Gary's politics from the last 5 years when he's been making content or when he's been relevant in terms of political discussion. It's interesting watching him kind of iterate Marxist viewpoints kind of from first principles, because that's what Marxism basically is, or what the kind of Marxist socialism is. It's talking about who owns what, analysing who owns what, and then using that as a material basis to make kind of predictions about politics or to make statements about political economy. And what a wealth tax...
You have to say that as an intro note, no national anthem has ever got close to it. Like that. That is a definitive, like, we are fucking here. Boom! Now let's get into a tune. Let's have a little jig, yeah?
Does is it puts into the frame of how people look at our economy and look at our society in a framework of ownership. And I think that's really important. Fundamentally, I think that in terms of the economic solution...
Shit, is the Star Wars intro. It's a shorter one, but look. Yeah.
In terms of how we approach policy, we actually need to look broadly at ownership, right? We talk about nationalising the water company is a really important thing because it's very easy for people to see that if you're purely profit-driven, as the companies who own our water companies are, then you don't have to care about social utility. i.e. the idea of what's good for the population at large for reasons other than profit. Because they have a captive market, it's a monopoly, so they can pollute as much as they want, and they know that they can increase your bills because you have no choice but to pay. You have no choice but to pay because water is the basis of being able to exist. So that is a set of ownership problems, because unless it's owned by somebody who has democratic accountability, i.e. the state or a local authority, like the regional water boards kind of used to be before they were privatised under Thatcher, then at the very least, if it didn't reach some level of social utility, then they would fail democratically, and a new government or a new local government would be elected to look after that resource. When it's a private company...
Oh yeah, Gary's economics is more social democrat than Marxist, but like, I think he's still very good. I think he's in the right area, and has the kind of background chops, as it were, to sort of really hold the argument, and I think that's positive.
They have no such kind of public holding them to account, and that's an issue. It's also in terms of where that money goes, right? Once you understand the water companies are owned by not just any company, they're usually asset management firms, like Macquarie is one of the famous ones, because I believe they were partners of Southern Water, who had huge problems with taking on debt, using that to pay shareholder dividends, and then leaving the corporation, leaving the company, leaving it with that debt that then has to get paid down by higher bills on consumers. Is that not only is that a company that's doing a bad thing for our environment, they're also taking money out of our country, because Macquarie is based in Australia, and that's no longer staying in our local economy either. That's a really big problem. I think Grace talks about this in Vulture Capitalism, Grace Blakely.
Oh, name drop! Oh, name drop! Oh.
Yes.
What the fuck was... what?
People who don't know about the issue with...
Oh, Grace Blakely, friend. Oh, podcast Blakely, Polanski, friend. Oh.
Kind of like the...
That is my analysis of this situation.
Management problem. And right-wingers have noticed this, you see. Like, I keep in touch with kind of right-wing conspiracy TikTok and things like that, and they rightly will point at the level of asset ownership of BlackRock and Vanguard and these asset management firms, without realising that, well, unless you have a robust and powerful state that's able to stand up to these, again, supranational, they're bigger than countries, a lot of these corporations are, at least in terms of their remit, then all you can do is be at the mercy of the power that they have, especially...
Oh no, I think Gary knows he's on the left. Yeah. I just don't think he knows how on the left he is.
Monopoly market like water. That's the issue that you need to understand with asset ownership, is that if it's not in control of the people and it's something that everybody needs, then they'll be able to extract whatever they need from you to be able to satisfy the only thing that matters to them, which is generating revenue for shareholders. And who says that the shareholders of Macquarie are more important than our rivers, than our seas, than our beaches, and indeed the bills that we have to pay?
That was a banging line. That's another line I'm going to steal.
My girl's write a speech writer for Zack Polanski now, I'm just saying, okay? That's a fact. That's so good.
Yeah, love it. I'm also quite shocked that you're in touch.
That's beautiful, man. Oh, do I have anything good?
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
With right-wing TikTok conspiracy theorists, I'm like, that sounds like quite a job. So thank you for doing the...
I mean, that's one thing. It's interesting. Is that I've spent the last 5 years, how long I've had my YouTube channel, covering right-wing politics a lot. I will respond to right-wingers very, very frequently. That's one of the things that we watch a lot of the time. Obviously, when we're watching mainstream politics shows, there'll be a right-wing guest and a a Labour Party guest, so basically other right-wing guests at this point, and you'll be able to take the points that they make and either debunk them in terms of the facts they're saying or give a response from kind of a left-wing ideological standpoint. And in none of that interaction have I become any less left-wing. If anything, I've become more left-wing over time, so...
Based!
Shows you how convincing a lot of their arguments are.
I love that. And because you explain things so well, I think there's something that often confuses the audiences, and that's around energy, particularly around nationalisation, but the step before that, around decoupling. Are you able to explain what decoupling would mean?
Oh, so at the moment...
It means making monogamous relationships illegal, which I'm very much in favour of.
Basically, we set the price for what we pay for energy at the marginal price, i.e. the form of energy generation that is the highest is what we will pay. And so when demand is low, we will use only the cheaper ones to make sure that the bill stays as low as possible when demand is low. But as soon as demand reaches a certain level and we start having to turn on certain forms of power generation that are more expensive, rather than paying like a gradient in terms of those bills, as soon as you turn on that extra level of energy generation, which is usually gas, in most times it is gas that is the most expensive, that will set the price for all of the bills, not just that little bit extra that's been used for everything, is now the marginal price that's been set. So you will have to pay for gas prices, right? And this is why I fundamentally think that we need energy nationalisation, especially the grid.
I'd never noticed before, but Helena's ring game is on point. She's got a strong ring situation going down, and I appreciate that. It's nice. I don't look at her hands very often. I don't actually look at her very often. Because when we're on stream together, like, I'm not looking at... Like, I don't have an image of her or anything. It's what we're watching. She is merely a disembodied voice to me.
Like, there is very few good arguments for privatisation for the energy generation and for energy supply, right? There are precious few good arguments, right? But there are zero good arguments for having a privatised grid, which is essentially the reason that we're in this place in the first place, is that the grid, as a private company, is buying energy from private companies who generate it, and then to maximise, to ensure that you can have the market incentives that's
Although
available.
I should explain, I know this looks weird, but my ears get sweaty. I can still hear the thing, it's just I can hear it slightly distantly.
If people aren't being paid what the kind of the highest bidder is being paid, which again would be gas at the time which it gets turned on in terms of demand, then there's no kind of financial incentive for those private companies to invest if you're not paying that marginal price. It's why I think we need a nationalised, broadly energy system, is so that we aren't hamstrung in terms of the high bills that we pay due to this marginal pricing. I know that the current government is looking at regional pricing. That might be a good change. I need to look further into the efficacy of changing to that specific system.
Are you happy now?
We wouldn't have to worry
I
if
can't
it was
fucking see anything,
nationalised,
but are you
because then we
happy?
can just set the price that is affordable, and we can subsidise the remainder from the state. And indeed, if it generates so much energy that it turns a profit, then that's all going back into the public coffers anyway. That's being kept in the public realm. Again, rather than at the moment, where we have our grid owned by, I believe, a Canadian multinational, we have our supply.
Thank you, Mr. Satnav, for gifting a sub. Much love.
Owned by loads of different companies, but they're either based with a shareholder model, so money's going to shareholders, which may be overseas.
Becoming Daft Punk. Yeah. Well, I do have fans around the world, around the world. Around the world.
Electricité de France, which is now a fully state-owned company.
I'd like that she did a little accent there. Oh, that's lovely. Hang on.
Government, in the case of EDF, which is Electricité de France, which is now a fully state-owned...
She did a little French accent. Oh. Electricité de France. Oh. Oh, French accent. Oh, French accent, friend. Oh. I've taken this interview so seriously. This is why I will definitely be invited on. And I won't just go there and be like, oh, podcast! Zack Polanski Bold Politics podcast! Oh!
company. Like, even Emmanuel Macron, centrist neoliberal king Emmanuel Macron, during the energy crisis, nationalised the remainder of EDF to ensure that he could keep bills. I think it was only a 4% increase they saw in that period.
Oh, that was adorable. They went to the Jesuit school. And I didn't realise, like, I was sort of thinking back on that moment, and I thought, did I sound patronising when I was like, do you mean Jesuit? Because I didn't know. I was thinking, like, is there actually a school called the Jesuit School? I've never heard of this. Is that a real thing? That's got to be Jesuit, right? Sure, like, anyway, yeah. Adorable.
And that why can we not do something very similar here? It's ludicrous to me that we have this over-privatized system where not only are we sending money overseas, but also they're just taking a pound of flesh every single time a transaction is made. Like, you pay a surcharge to do grid upkeep and to pay for the shareholder dividends for this multinational company that owns our energy grid. Like, it's so silly to have a privatized grid. Even Neil Kinnock in 1992 ran on renationalising the grid. That's how much I just think that it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, but even he's like more right wing than he used to be.
And so, I guess the final segment I want to go into
Not
is
as
the
right wing as
politics
his
of all
fucking
this.
son, though.
That as you're saying all of that, I go, there's no way Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves are going to do this. Like, they're so they push themselves into such an ideological corner that it would now be incoherent for them to. It'd be admitting that they've got everything wrong and everything they've been saying is lying. Do you think there could be a future Labour leader who goes in this direction? Do you think the Labour Party as a project is fundamentally dead?
Could there be somebody from the Labour Party who would do that? I think so. There are still people in the Labour Party who share our viewpoints. I mean, You've been speaking to them behind the scenes. Like, you know the kind of people. So you know.
Oh shit! She even knows now. You've been talking to her behind the scenes. You know that thing you told me about. That, like, yeah, I know. She's got look. She's networking. Okay. Future Deputy Prime Minister, No Justice. The Right Honourable No Justice MarjorieTaylorGreen.
You know the kind of people in the Labour Party who are amenable to the kind of politics that we want to see. The question is, are they ever going to get the institutional power within the Labour Party to make internal change that will help us get to that point, or that will make sure that Labour can do that? And fundamentally, I think that that's non-complete non-starter. Not only do I think that the kind of what I would describe as the Politburo that surrounds Keir Starmer, so you've got Morgan McSweeney and all of those people around him who fought so hard.
Oh, Pat McFadden. No, don't do the voice. Yeah, Pat McFadden. Yeah, absolute gobshite.
They fought so hard in terms of undermining Corbynism, undermining the left wing of the party. I mean,
whereas now Jeremy Corbyn undermines Corbynism. Very annoying. I found where that music comes from. It's Red Dwarf and a Paul. What? What are you talking about? Oh, actually, it's Red Dwarf. Okay, well, I can't show that, obviously. Beloved grandson of former Labour leader Neil Kinnock comes out as non-binary. Oh, nice. Former Labour leader Lord Neil Kinnock's grandson has come out as non-binary and been welcomed by his family. Oh, dope. I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
All become Green members now. In a lot of cases, that they would never want to relinquish that power, and because they have disabused like the actual left wing of the Labour Party from wanting to be a part of it by essentially saying, "We don't want you. The door is open and you can leave."
Yeah, grandchild. Yeah. The grandchild of Neil Kinnock.
The very famous thing that Keir Starmer said, or what they briefed the press, they were shaking off the fleas, that the kind of people internally they would need who would support a left-wing leader that would do that, they've all left the party now. I think the kind of leadership that we would see from somebody in the deputy leadership role that is most likely to win this weekend, which is Lucy Powell, probably the furthest you're going to get in terms of a centre-left candidate. And unless you're taking real bold change in terms of especially the economic paradigm that the Labour Party...
Interesting that she has not mentioned gulags once so far.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Toning it down. Toning it down. Respectability politics from No Justice MTG, is it? Yeah? No Justice cockery.
He represents, which I don't think someone from the Labour centre left would do. I don't think you're going to get the kind of level of change that is necessary to fix all of the problems with our economy.
Are we done? What?
Zack has signed up to EcoTalk. He's...
Okay, yeah, I'll give you no offence, mate, but I'm not... Like, I love Chris Packham, but I'm not interested in this.
absolutely simple. And look at the benefits. Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. I need that as a fucking thing for the board. I need some positivity. And Chris Packham saying life is beautiful is a glorious thing.
What are your thoughts about your party? I genuinely don't know this, actually. I'm just interested, because on paper, in some ways, that would be a project that I would go, actually, you'd probably be really interested in that.
I mean, I was interested immediately from the start in seeing what it would
on-
turn into. You know, I have huge amounts of respect for Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn. I would not be the person that I am today without Jeremy Corbyn. I would not have found the interest in politics. I would have been inspired to be politically active if it wasn't for Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, no, to be fair, I'm a little bit older and a bit more long in the tooth politically. Yeah. So, like, I was political before Jeremy Corbyn. In fact, I was streaming. The very first stream I tried to do on the old OBS was I was sat there about 2 feet, 3 feet to my right when I had the table in the corner. An old table. It was made of glass. It was weird, anyway. Or the things were made of glass, anyway. Yeah, and I managed to fuck up the OBS, so it was just the camera in the corner and nothing else. I couldn't get anything else on the screen because I didn't know what the buttons meant. On the day that Jeremy Corbyn was elected leader of the Labour Party, that's how long I've been trying to fucking do this and failing miserably.
Corbyn, I wouldn't have understood a lot of the issues that we see in terms of our broader economy today if it wasn't for Jeremy Corbyn. So I have huge amounts of respect for these people. But seeing the way that it has started so far, the way that it has kept all of the trappings of the problems of the internal politics of the Labour Party, like, that's taken that along with it, obviously from a different perspective, because it's a broadly far more left-wing pitch to the public in terms of the kind of policy they would pursue. Again, it's people that I admire and I would like to work with, but fundamentally there's two problems, right? First of all, I think that they take a lot of positions that...
Yeah, I've been doing it for years and years and I've just learned what a macro was, yeah.
Whilst are things that I agree with, I think are things that you would never be able to...
You
win
just
a public
assaulted
over,
me.
especially the kind of coalition you'd need to build to be electorally successful. And I think that we're polling at 15% now, the Green Party are. We're polling so well, we have huge amounts of support in the kind of areas where I think that your party would also be very successful. And when I'm purely...
Are we trying to make
electoral
EcoTalk a
politics,
thing?
I don't see why there needs
Is that
to
a
be
meme
one
now?
left-wing party at this point. What I think is really important, though, is that having your party exist, and if things find themselves in a more conducive position, or a position that's more conducive to success moving forward, at the very least having them in the political discourse will have yet more voices there to move that Overton window. They can probably win some seats that we can't win electorally as well, in like post-industrial areas, the kind of the Labour heartland base, whereas we're more what I can see in more rural areas, which is our current more ecological base, and in terms of very young people, that's very much in inner cities, in the way that which we've seen in the move to a service economy, young people have left all of those areas and all moved in. They've piled into cities because it's where the universities are, it's where the jobs are. So the kind of base that we have of this broad coalition of kind of neo-socialists and progressive liberals, that was kind of the backbone of the Labour coalition 2017, which is very much based in cities. I think we have a really good market there, but we don't really win in...
That's the only thing I was disagreeing with. I was thinking we've got a really strong story to tell in post-industrial heartlands, right?
I think that's true. will have preconceptions, and until we break through those preconceptions, having another party that can speak to those people, first of all, it might win them around to our side too. But
yeah, well, generally speaking, just having people in the having more dogs in the fight. That's a really awful analogy. Don't do that. Having more voices in the media, you know. Shut the fuck up. We are dropping the Beetle meme. Shut up, dickheads.
it's also a way of being able to have a multi-pronged kind of attack in terms of electoral politics. But we'll have to wait and see.
And very finally, if people love you as much as I do, they can find you on Thursday nights on Navara, but also how do they find you for your own...
Oh, no. For the briefest possible second, for the briefest second, I thought he was going to say you can catch you on Thursday nights with this dickhead or whatever. They like going to vaguely gesture towards me. Doing question time, but of course no. He was talking about Navara. Oh, he got my hopes up. Oh, I've been fucking cock blocked. No. Bastard. That's it. I'm leaving the Green Party. I'm never voting for him. Fucking blue balling me. Oh, bless him. Honestly, my heart nearly fucking stopped. I thought if he mentions me even tangentially, I'm gonna fucking die. So in many respects, I'm glad he didn't.
Personal content.
If you search at NoJusticeMTG on every platform, I think I've got that right. I think I've got it at NoJusticeMTG on every single social media site. I stream on YouTube and Twitch 6 days a week, so the only day I don't stream on my stream is Thursdays, because that's when I'm doing Navara, but I will stream every other day of the week. So you can catch me there. It's usually in the evening, sometimes in the afternoons, and I upload little clips from my streams once a day. I'll hopefully get up to twice a day on YouTube if you want to be able to catch up without having to spend 3 hours watching me babble on. So there's plenty of stuff for you to be able to get involved with. By the way, just so people who are unaware, the MTG stands for Magic the Gathering. It doesn't stand for Marjorie Taylor Green.
Yes! My meme made it onto the thing. Fuck yes. Oh. We made it, chat. We started from the bottom. Now the whole squad is here. Let's fucking go. Me being an annoying cunt has made it onto Bold Politics Podcast with Zack Polanski, and I'm very happy.
So if you're wondering what that stood for, that's what that stands for.
I love that. And please do keep babbling on, because I absolutely love it. And I've loved this, so thank you very much.
Much appreciated. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Bless him. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, chat, it's been emotional. Chat, it's been I'm not a Drake fan, but I'm aware of that meme. I'm aware of the whole squad, blah, blah, you know, that bollocks. Oh. She should have mentioned question. Why would she mention that? Why would she ruin her opportunity? That's amazing. No, I'm so proud of her. That's amazing. I'm really proud of Curtis as well, interviewing Zara Sultana. That's like, they're legitimate fucking journalists. And not in the way that, like, journalists are, like, but they're actual journalists. They're doing journalism. Not like award-winning journalism and all that shit. Amazing. That was fucking awesome. I enjoyed that enormously. And I hope you did too, chat. Podcast. Shall we see who's going on the various platforms? And I'll let you go. I will release you from this vile bondage. Not good bondage, bad bondage. Oh no, well, no justice is going. It's the only remotely appropriate option. Go and say hello. Everyone go and say hello to podcast friend, Zack Polanski's podcast friend. Oh, podcast. And please type something stupid like, oh, podcast friend, oh, in their chat. I am asking you to nicely brigade this person. And again, it's nice brigading, so it's fine. They'll enjoy the nonsense of it. Please do, and just type silly things. I'll see you all tomorrow. No pass around.